Hi everyone. Today's topic is uh, life cycle of thread and schedule. Now we are discuss about life cycle of thread. In Java, a thread always exists in any one of the following state, uh, and these states is five, like a new, active, block, time waiting, terminated. Explanation of the different threads, like first one is new. Whenever a new thread is created, it is always in the new state. For a thread, it is the new state. The code has not been run it and thus has not begun its execution. Second one is active. When a thread invokes the start method, it moves from the new state to the active state. The active state contains two states within it. One is runnable and the other is running. Third one is runnable. A thread that is ready to run in the move then move to the runnable state. In the runnable state, the thread may be running or may be ready to run at given instant of time. It is the duty of the thread scheduler to provide the thread time to run, that is moving the thread the running state. A program implementing multi-threading acquires a fixed slice of time to each individual thread. Okay, each and every thread runs for a short span of time, and when that allocate time slice is over, the thread voluntary mm, gives up the CPU to the other thread. So that is the other thread can also run for their slice of time. Whenever such a scenario occurs, all those threads that are willing to run, waiting for their turn to run, lie in the runnable state. In the runnable state, there is a queue where is the and next one is running. Where sorry, when the thread gets the CPU, it moves from the runnable in the running state. Generally, the most common changes in the state of a thread is from runnable to running and again back to runnable. Okay. Next one is block or waiting. Whenever a thread is inactive for a span or time, not permanently, then either the thread is in the block state or is in waiting state. Okay. For example, a thread may want to print data from the printer. However, at the same time, the other thread, let's see the name, using the printer to print some data. Therefore, the thread A has to wait for thread B to use the printer. Okay, the thread A is in the block state. A thread is in the block state is unable to perform any execution and does never consume any cycle of the central processing unit, means CPU. Hence, we can say that thread A remains idle until the thread scheduler reactive thread A, which is the in the waiting or block state. When the main thread invokes the join method, then it is said that the main thread in the waiting state, the main thread then waits for the child thread to complete their task. When the task thread completes their job, a notification is sent to the main thread, which again moves the thread from waiting to the active state. If there are a lot of threads in the waiting or block state, then it is the duty of the thread scheduler to determine which thread to choose and choose one to reject, and the choose thread is given to the opportunity to run. Next one is time waiting. Okay, sometime waiting for leads to starvation. For example, a thread has entered the critical section of a code and it is not willing to leave the critical section. In such a scenario, another thread has to wait forever, which leads to starvation. To avoid such a scenario, a time waiting state is given to thread B. Okay, this is all about thread life cycle and schedules. Thank you.